Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Crime on the Record. As you can see, I'm Jason. She's Candace. I want to talk about Chelsea Grimm. I get it. There's a lot of missing people. There's thousands, but this one is just I don't understand any of it. Like where she was going, why she was going that way, and what. I don't understand any of it.
I'm sorry. This whole time, I did not have my mic on. I didn't. I thought the audio saved itself, and it doesn't. And I was like, why can't I hear him talking? You didn't see me go because I finally turned it on the right one, and it got so loud.
Fuck's sake.
Okay. I'm on top of stuff now. No, I'm with you. This is very weird.
It is. I just don't understand it. I just don't get it at all. Because let's be real. I don't do the greatest of research because I get lazy. But what day did she leave? Because she was going from San Diego to Connecticut. I don't know where in Connecticut. Just Connecticut. Do you know what day she left? I mean, I guess I could have done the math based on, how many the last time somebody saw her. But was it like the 25th of September?
I think so. Let me see.
So late September is when she left. And she was going from San Diego to Connecticut, somewhere in Connecticut, for a friend's wedding. Now, I don't know. Why do you drive? That's a long ass way for a wedding.
It really is. Yeah, I don't.
And I know you don't know anything. Yeah, I know you don't know anything about geography, but San Diego, Connecticut, it's like.
No, I do know where San Diego and Connecticut are, and they're very far apart.
You know where whole states are. Okay, all right.
It says she was last seen September 28th, but I still can't find what day she left.
Yeah, because that was last seen. It's probably the 25th, maybe the 24th. It's in the 20s of September of this year.
Either way, somebody knew where she was till the 28th.
Yeah, so she's supposed to. And maybe this is why she didn't fly the entire way, because she was supposed to meet a friend in Phoenix, which is on the way. That makes sense of going there. But her friend she never showed up, is what her friend said. And did the friend call anybody? Or did they just responded when somebody asked?
I guess so. Maybe. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, if the friend didn't, is it because she was perhaps, I don't want to say flaky, but I can't really think of another word.
Yeah, no. And I mean, and that maybe she just changed her mind a lot. Maybe not flaky. Maybe we'll just say that, because she did call her parents and say that she wasn't going to make it in time for the wedding. So she was like, hey, I'm not going to make it, and you're not going to hear from me for a few days. And I guess her plan was to camp out there by herself, because her dad was saying she'd done it before, but it's been a long time, so it was kind of out of character for her to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, this is where you talk.
Sorry, I was trying to find where the friend's information was to see if she had said that,
that is a very good point. So they said, and I'm reading it because we also put this on our podcast, and it doesn't really translate well if I don't read these, but somebody's saying that she didn't drive because she couldn't take her bearded dragon on the plane, which, okay, that's fair. Because she did have her bearded dragon with him. And now you say that, all I can think about is After Party, where he had his little lizard with him all the time, Roxy or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So she did. She had her bearded dragon with her. So she's driving. But like I said, she called and said, hey, I'm not going to make it. So on September 28th, she is in or near Williams, Arizona, when she is a cop sees her, and she was crying at the time, and he tried to figure out what's going on. So apparently she's also a photographer, because she was at a graveyard, and she said that she saw Tomb of the Lost Soldier. So she was taking pictures of that. She got emotional, so she just wanted to kind of compose herself before she continued on with her drive. And the cop was telling her, hey, that's cool. And then he kind of told her of a place where she could stop for the night that was, I guess, relatively safe. So that was the 28th that happened. And then a couple days later, there was a woodcutter that saw her, and it's on September 30th. And this is Ash Fork, Arizona, which is 2 hours north of Phoenix.
Well, okay, so I just saw though, because you had asked about the friend. So out on Reddit, a friend supposedly posts, it says, "My friend is missing," and it's about her. And they have on here that on the 27th that Chelsea met with a friend in Phoenix.
Okay.
But the next day they were supposed to go to lunch and she canceled.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
But it also says later that day she was reported to be disoriented when she tried to book a motel.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. The other thing that's weird is there's not as many articles about this as you think there would be.
I know, that's why it's so hard to like pin it down.
Yeah, and I mean,
they're
you
all
read
different.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You read one, it has this information, then you read something, and it completely contradicts what you just read.
Mm-hmm.
It's very odd the way this all works. So the woodcutter saw her, and according to the article I was reading when I took these notes, he went back to make sure she was okay, and it said that he talked to her, and she said that she was fine. So she's just kind of chilling out there. But she was eventually reported missing on October 4th, and the car was found in, I didn't look up the pronunciation for this, but it's a national forest near the Grand Canyon, and it was found on October 5th, the next day, in the middle of the road. And her phone, wallet, sleeping bag, and her bearded dragon not in the car, but the camera was left in the car, which I thought was odd because, I mean, if she is taking pictures to the point where she stops at a cemetery and she's doing like a photo shoot there or whatever, I mean, it's very weird that she left her camera in her car. For me, anyway, that's just strange, especially if you're in a national park that's near the Grand Canyon. It seems like something, everybody would have their camera with them. I just
Well, and it kind of makes me wonder if it was her getting out of the car just because of a flat tire. Like maybe she had already gotten out near there, taken pictures, done whatever, and had this flat and was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to go find somebody to get help." But at the same time, wouldn't you be worried somebody might steal your camera?
I mean, but the thing for me is she took her sleeping bag with her. So I guess she wasn't planning on coming back to the car. So you would think that she would take the camera with her. I guess she could be like flat tire. She's in the middle of nowhere. She's kind of, freaking out a little bit and she just forgets to take that with her. Maybe I could see that. But if not, I don't know why you don't take it.
Yeah.
So the cops, what they say they can't rule it out, but they don't think it was foul play. I don't know how you make that determination when you don't know where somebody's at, when they just up and disappear. Maybe they're just hoping there wasn't any foul play. I don't know what kind of evidence they saw from that. And then that's where my notes end. And then I know you wrote a bunch of stuff down, but it's just so odd. She was headed from San Diego to Connecticut, driving all that way, meeting a friend in Phoenix. She had her bearded dragon with her, and then gone. Like just gone. I don't know how this happens. I don't understand how this stuff happens.
I know. When people just disappear off the face of the earth, you're like, what? Mm-hmm. It's like, maybe there are UFOs. Maybe they're snatching people, because where the hell did they go? It's
but the thing about UFOs, though, is they always snatch like rednecks who don't know anything. Like I just hope that they're not plucking people from Alabama and they're like, oh, this is all of America. It's not. I hope they're taking, a lot of people from the entire country. That way they get a good, firm understanding of who we really are, not just people from Alabama.
To be fair, though, if they're coming to America and snatching people, they should know what they're getting. You know what I mean? Like, you stand the chance of getting somebody rough. So
they're gonna be like, man, they have terrible health care. Nobody's good at math. Yeah, that's America right there. That's America. Oh, and we like to elect felons to office, but that's a different story.
True. So I thought it was interesting too. You know how we said that there was the report from her friend on here saying that she was disoriented. Well, they also talked about that same day that the police officer saw her, that she seemed disoriented or out of it because she tried to exchange euros as opposed to U.S. currency. And I'm like, what? First of all, exchanged where? Like, I didn't really understand.
Who's running around with euros?
Right? I know. I just thought, well, I don't go
I
anywhere.
mean,
Maybe I just don't understand this.
well, I mean, you're not going anywhere where they take euros. That's probably why you're not going. I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
like, why do you take them? Why would you take those? Or why would you try to exchange them? That I don't understand that.
Well,
But
that's the thing. I guess that's why people are wondering if something was wrong with her. I mean,
maybe.
they're trying to exchange euros for currency. Not great. So I don't know. On Twitter, there
It's X.
is.
It's X.
I refuse. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm not doing that. It's Twitter to me. Okay,
All right. All
whatevs.
right. All right.
We gave it a nickname. It's Twitter. Okay, so
So you're just, I'm gonna nickname it what it used to be called. All right.
yeah, that's how I roll.
That's solid logic. Okay.
So on Twitter, there is this guy, Steve Fisher. He is under SF Investigates out of, I believe, California. So he's been reporting a lot on Twitter over the past like week or two, talking about going out and searching for her. And I mean, I know he's been out there because he videos a lot of it and puts it up. So, I mean, you can see that he's in the area. And he reported, though, that the woodcutter never saw her. So some of the stuff, I don't understand why there is such a discrepancy. It's like, you can't both
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I'm not the best researcher, but I'm not this off. like I've read
Yeah.
stuff, and then you read other things, and it's completely opposite. And now you got this guy who's out there and is like, nope, never talked to her.
And
Guy
to
never
be
talked.
so absolutely sure, because,
Mhm.
it had been said that the woodcutter didn't see her, and then it came out that he had seen her, and then people were arguing back and forth. So this Steve guy, he said, well, I'll see what I can find out. And the next day he said that he had talked to law enforcement, and there was a lot that they had found that they couldn't discuss, that he couldn't give out because law enforcement asked him not to talk about it, but that there was stuff he could verify. And one of those was that the tires were flat, not slashed or cut or anything like that. They were just flat. And the other was that the woodcutter never saw her. They only saw her car. And I looked out there, and there are a lot of articles saying only saw her car. He's saying the police told him only saw her car. If you watch a video with her parents, though, on there, they're like, he saw her twice.
Well, so my first question is like, how much wood is there out there? Like, I mean, I saw the pictures. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot. So why are there just people out there cutting shit down? Like I don't understand that, but that's a whole nother thing. And maybe the parents just want to believe that they saw her because that's one more sighting days after she left, and it's maybe giving them some hope.
Well, I don't think so, because they said that she was asked by that guy, and she said she was fine. Like when he saw her still there
Okay.
a while later, that he was concerned, and so he went and asked her how she was, and she said she was fine. And so he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess she doesn't need help then."
And
So it's just
that didn't
crazy to
happen.
me.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to me that there is such huge discrepancies about something that you can't see it and not see it. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
understand that two things in some instances can be true, but this is not one of them.
Yeah, I mean, they either did or didn't talk to her. I mean, it's pretty easy to
Right.
kind of figure out.
Another thing was that when they were describing it, it sounded as if she pulled off the road. And I kept hearing it that way. Like, she pulled over, her car was found pulled over with flat tires. But when you see his pictures that he put up and video and stuff, the car is in the middle of the road. It's like, it's not even like pulled over whatsoever. It's like you're going down a one way, because it's one lane, and you just decide to hit the brakes and cut the damn car off. I mean, that's how the car is. It just stopped in the middle of the road, and she's like, F this, I'm out.
Yeah, and so the tires being flat, like was it two tires on one side?
Yeah, the passenger side. Well, that's also from the guy who said that they didn't see her, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's kind of
This
weird
is what
as
we're told.
well. Yeah. Why are 2 tires flat on the same side of the car? Did you run something over? Is there something in the tires? Did they know why they went flat? I know you don't know the answers to those questions, but like that's kind of the stuff we need to know. And by need to know, want to.
Yeah. Or need to know so we can put it out there, like everybody needs to know the correct information if they're going to have information. Either don't tell them
Mhm.
anything or at least tell them what it is. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
otherwise you get people out there just misrepresenting stuff and spreading all this false information. So also you can see on there, it's not rugged at all. Like in my mind, I was thinking that like she was in the middle of the damn forest, the way they kept describing this. I'm thinking about like Nightmare on Elm Street, kind of scared, going through this like wooded forest area. And I don't
Not
know why I did that, but
not a lot of forests in the Phoenix area. Just,
I mean,
I mean, that's
right.
just general knowledge that adults know. So not a lot of woods
Uh,
going on out there. So
mm. I would flip you off, but I don't want it on video. So
that's the
I'd be
first
nice.
one.
Oh my goodness. Okay, but in my mind, that's how I was seeing it, like this really rough terrain and bumpy
Mhm.
road and all. But when you see the video, it's just a flat dirt road. Like it's complete. Like there's not like these huge rocks sticking out of the ground that you would even see she might have hit.
Yeah, yeah.
What is so funny though?
I'm just like that's a desert again. Like that's how deserts operate. But I know what you mean. There's not like the big cactus that are out there or the big rocks that like you said she could be behind or anything. It's just like flat dirt with shrubs. I mean that's really all it is. Like you could
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you wouldn't be able to see a person that easily because once they get out, it's a little bit more difficult. But if she was pretty close, you would be able to see her. Because I mean there's
Well,
not a
plus
lot of obstruction.
they have looked all over there. So I mean, and I don't know, I didn't say that as in like there's not rocks. So she
Oh yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
hiding behind them. My point about the rocks was I didn't see a lot of rocks. I didn't see any rocks, really, just dirt all the way as far as you could see down the road.
Mm,
So what did she hit?
yeah.
You
And that
know, I
SF
don't know.
investigates, didn't he say he was flying a drone
Yeah.
looking that way? And I mean, just there's nothing out there.
Well, okay. So here's the thing with this SF investigates. I thought he was a genuine person. He seems to be. I've seen him on the news and stuff, and seen him. I mean, he always seems to be like really concerned about what's going on, and has been involved with finding some people. So I'm like, okay, he's legit. But then there's like this whole group of people that were on the Kylie Rodney case that hate him. And they're like, he's not even a real investigator. So I don't know. Seeing this whole woodcutter thing be misrepresented, I'm not sure if he got bad intel from the cops or
But
he really isn't legit.
but he's been involved in cases where he's helped find people, right?
Supposedly, I don't know. I
I
didn't look
mean,
him. I didn't look
if
up
he
his
had,
record.
I mean, if that's the case, then who gives a shit if he's a registered private
I
investigator?
mean, no,
Like,
he's supposed to be
yeah,
legit,
yeah.
registered, licensed in all these different states.
Mm.
And I believed every bit of that. And I kind of still do. I think some people just get dramatic and stuff. But it really threw me off when he said that about the woodcutter never seeing her. And that he had verified that with the police because I thought, well, the police would be the ones giving out information.
Yeah, I
And
would know.
they would be the ones who told the parents, and the parents have flat out said he talked to her. So, I mean, he had to have
Yeah,
seen her.
and like that, how difficult does an investigation become when there's what actually happened and then there's other information out there and then the parents aren't in line with what the police are saying. Like I would imagine that's not, that's not good for an investigation. You don't have the same info going through all that.
Yeah. But, he he's very he appears very, and I'm just saying appears because I'm at the point now where I just honestly don't know. I'm confused
Mhm.
about the guy. But he appears to be very genuine and very transparent because if like when he says I'll be flying a drone, he then later always posts clips from it. You know, like he's not just saying, "Oh, I went and looked with the drone." You see the damn desert. I mean, like you see he's there. You know,
Yeah.
And like when he went out there the other day and he wasn't with anyone, he was by himself. He posted this tracking thing online, and he's like, "Hey, everybody that's talking
Yeah.
to me, like track me online. If I ain't back home by 9 o'clock, send out a
Yeah.
search party."
Yeah. And then it looked like Barry Morphew's house when he was chasing chipmunks. It was just everywhere.
It's all over the place. Yeah. But I mean, he breaks it down by grids. He talks about what grid he's going to be working that day. So I mean, like he just like I'm just saying, if he's not legit, he's putting in a lot of damn work to be fake. Like what kind of time does he have
Well,
to do
Ret
that?
Mom, Ret Mom says she thinks he's suing Bullhorn Betty. So
Oh well, he's
real, not real.
100% legit.
Yeah. Then he's totally fine with me.
Oh well, that's probably her people then that are over there like he's fake.
Yeah, right.
Oh, if
Yeah.
he's the one suing Bullhorn Betty, which now that you say that, that makes sense. I think that's right.
But isn't
Oh
he
well,
suing her out of Florida though?
yeah, but he's licensed in Florida.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I mean, she's in Florida, isn't she?
I mean, I grew up in Florida, so I hate to say this, but
Wouldn't you assume?
she fits with Florida. Like when
Yeah,
you
that's
think
what I'm saying.
Florida, you think her. I mean, you
Yeah.
think meth, trailer trash, that's her.
I
Not the
mean,
meth
Florida
part.
man.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, BHB, Florida man. Not even Florida woman, Florida man. I could see it. Yeah. So, but I mean, according to him, like watching the stuff he's been doing, they have searched all over. Cannot figure out where the hell else they would even search. But I do know that he, like, okay, people. Another thing that they say that is their like proof he's lying is that they say he talks in riddles because he'll say something, but then he'll be like, "But I can't tell y'all." And okay, I guess you could kind of twist it that way, but he's very open about why he won't tell you certain things. He's like, "Well, I can say this, but the rest of it they don't want me to say." So like he came on there yesterday, I think it was, and he said he wanted to let everyone know that he was able to talk to the police and see the inside of the vehicle and see what all had been found in it. And it was extensive, but he could not say what it was because the police did not want him to say what it was. That sounds completely legit. But, you know, people are like, see, he's just saying he found stuff, but he won't tell you what it is. It's like, well, I mean, that sounds legit, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's telling you why he's not telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
But
he's pretty popular though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that's why.
I mean,
that's why people don't. People are talking, like that about him because he's doing good and he's got a lot of people that are following him. So you gotta try and knock those people down any opportunity you get.
I mean, I don't think it's like millions, but I mean, I think he's got. I don't know, 15,000 maybe.
He's got a good following. Sorry, I was looking up the weather out there in Ash Fork, Arizona.
And then you just decide to throw your damn phone.
Yeah,
it just went like tumbling.
Look, shit happens. Like we're live. I'm not. So, I mean, I saw the pictures. It looks like a damn desert, but it says in Ash Fork, Arizona, like the high is low 60s and it's getting into the 30s.
Wow.
At night. So, I don't know how much desert it really is, because currently it's 63 degrees out there.
I mean, that's getting chilly here.
Yeah. So
like when you try to hit 65, I'm like, don't play with me. Do not play Lawhorn. Turn it back up.
That's the thermostat at night. I sleep at 68 degrees. It's the optimal temperature.
Yeah, but you be over there trying to push it down a couple more times. I see you. You ain't sneaky.
It's got to be cold in the house to sleep. God damn it.
Yeah, it's got to be cold. It doesn't have to be the dog and I are chattering teeth. Okay, so as of 6 hours ago, this is one of the newest things he posted. Okay. And this is what I mean by, I guess it's one of those situations where if you don't like him or you think negatively, then you're going to assume he's talking in riddles. But if you do believe him, it's okay. Well, he can only tell you so much. So he says, I'll say we are making progress in the search. We have not come up empty-handed, but we cannot disclose everything right now. We are narrowing down the search and are starting to understand things. It sounds so cryptic, though, but I also kind of get how he's maybe trying to say as much as he can, but he just can't say certain things. But what would it be they're starting to understand? Wouldn't they have to know something about where she's at?
Yeah. I mean, you would think if they're starting to understand, then it's not
Yeah,
just, a damn riddle. And I mean, come to terms with the fact she's not in the woods. I mean,
I
yeah.
tend to agree.
Yeah. And we'll get to that. Like, I do want to talk about like what you think happened, what you guys think happened, that sort of thing. But I want to get through the next part too, because very excited about this other
Oh.
guy.
So, okay. I know you are. So in addition to the road, being pretty smooth and good shape, he also said that he passed like 30 to 35 cars on the way out. So it was
Mhm.
very high traveled, which was another thing that I did not assume before he said that. Because I
Yeah.
had assumed that it was, again, well, I mean, I thought it was a damn forest. So, I mean, you know what I was assuming. There ain't a lot of traffic in the forest. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think there was going to be a lot of cars. So when he said 30 to 35 people, somebody would have seen her if she was walking, wouldn't they? I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, even if they didn't stop and talk to her, they would have seen her.
yeah,
And
I could put two
like,
and two together.
yeah, and I don't know how she carries it, but I would feel like if you just saw some chick on the side of the road walking with a bearded dragon on her like that, like you'd remember that. Like that's
I mean, I
you know
would.
that's
I
not
would for
shit. You're just
sure.
like, oh yeah, it's her dragon, whatever. I mean, that's stuff you remember. So I don't know.
And he said that from driving in, like the distance or whatever, the train that you'd have to traverse to get to whatever store or town or whatever. He said that if you were to break down out there, you could easily walk out if you're in decent shape. So it seems like, you probably could have just crawled out if you had to,
Yeah.
like,
And if you're not in decent shape, just flag down one of the 30 to 35 cars that drive by you.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Which makes this a
Uh,
little scarier than just somebody who got lost.
yeah. So it was 5 days after the last person seeing her, I think, or the last person saw the car. So I guess when the woodcutter or whoever saw the car, 5 days later, they go out there and they check the car. And you said what? The camera was the only thing in there?
Yeah, yeah. So her wallet, phone, dragon, and sleeping bag.
And didn't,
That's
if
everything.
I remember correctly, they said that the keys were not in there. It was locked, and that the alarm was on. So, like, if you had tried to break in,
I,
the alarm would go off.
I didn't read that part, so I guess we're just gonna have to believe you.
Well, you know what though? Absolutely, they had to have known it was working because they said that when they got into it, the alarm went off, and that told them that the battery could not be dead either.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
makes sense.
um, nobody has been able to say whether or not there was gas in the car. But to me, it's like running out of gas and flattening some tires. That's a hell of a damn coincidence. Like you got to be doing a lot. You got to make a lot of wrong choices to get to that.
Yeah, that's a
I
bad
feel
day.
like. So yeah, that's pretty rough. Um, told you about the evidence. I think that's it. Oh, the only other side note to the whole PI thing is that right before I got on here, I was watching through JLR videos, which I'll get to, but
Jesus Christ, this
um
guy.
I also saw a Brian Denton interview with, well, I think it was like an audio interview. So he had him over the phone or whatever. And I know that's what audio means before you even say it. Because I know your smart ass is about to say that.
Maybe.
Anyway, so it said his name was Kelly Townsend, and the news said that he works for the family. So again, these people are like, see, he's saying he was hired by the family as a PI and their PI is Kelly Townsend. But I don't recall him ever saying he's been hired. He just said he was going to search.
Yeah,
So,
because I mean, he searches a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
business is fucking awesome in all these states. No, that's not
yeah,
like he didn't say that. He said he went out there.
yeah. Okay, so y'all know, well, if you listen to us, you know that I don't really know what to think about JLR. Like, I know you have some opinions. I have been like, I don't know, and I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But I cannot figure out if he is like an evil genius or just psychotic.
Yeah,
Like,
and to be fair, I'm only like I would laugh at anybody who did this. So it's not just him.
so the first video that I came to of his, oh my god, I almost peed myself laughing at this the first time. So it opens and he's out there with a axe, and he does it. It's like a bad what's the thing in the middle of the night that you watch? Not a commercial.
Infomercial.
Infomercial. I was thinking telemercial. That ain't right.
How did we get there?
And because it sounded like a bad infomercial, like where they'll be standing there doing something. They're like, "Oh, I didn't see you there."
Yeah,
How it starts.
yeah.
So that was him. He's like chopping this wood the whole time, and then he's like, "So, whatever." I think he was like, "So, JLR investigates," and I mean, I was already laughing, and then I realized that bitch ain't chopping wood. He's hitting a stump. Like he's hitting the stump of a tree. He's not chopping anything. There's no wood there.
Yeah. The axe just bouncing off the top of it.
That is exactly what's happening. I mean, it's just bouncing off. I'm like, you're not chopping wood. That's not what it means. So then he's talking, and then he said, "How long has the wood chopper been wood chopping or chopping wood?" And all I can think of is how long.
Goddamn woodchuck.
What is it? What is it?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
Yeah. Would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yes. That's all I can think of.
It's hilarious.
So then he does this whole thing, and then he's like, "Okay, guys, I'm going to go back to chopping wood." And he walks over there, and he's like, so you can see him still just hitting the stump. There is no wood being chopped.
And like I said, I don't know the guy. I don't know what he does, all that stuff. I would laugh at anybody with that cheesy ass shit. Like, that is funny. It's so funny because it's such a bad, it's not even a good, infomercial.
It's not. It's not. And you know what? I'm going kind of hard at him now. I think I do. I think I have made my mind up, really. I'm trying to be nice. But his stuff is so ridiculous. I am okay with people having different stuff, and I understand that it doesn't matter how much we say, "Oh, we want to just do this the ethical way." If you don't put out a catchy thumbnail, nobody's going to look at your stuff. So I get that there are people that put out dramatic thumbnails and crazy things like that. I can get past that. But the stuff he does, it's way too close to BHB for me. Because he had a video of him watching someone walk into court, and he's like, "You should be ashamed," and screaming all this stuff. I'm like, who are you screaming at? Why? Why would you stand outside a courtroom and scream at someone?
Well, like you said, because people want to see shit like that.
They clearly do. I mean,
I don't think it has any place when you're talking about people's worst day of their lives. Obviously we joke around, but I mean, we're not making fun of the family. We're not making fun of the victim. We don't go crazy with this whole shit so more people will watch, because that's terrible. But I will make fun of other people when they do stuff like hitting a stump with an axe and saying you're chopping wood.
I can't even.
That is hilarious.
It was hilarious. I thought I was gonna die. And then that's not all. He kept going. He still had more to that video.
Oh shit, just like an infomercial, but wait, there's more, huh?
But wait, there's more. Oh no, you know what? This was the next video. Okay, but there was more. There was another video. So the next one, he's so dramatic. He's like, what's the other one? The Hispanic.
Bitch, I can't give you all the words for you to say.
What's it called? Telenovela? Is that what it? Telenovela?
I mean, that is a thing. I don't know.
Like the soap operas, like the Hispanic soap operas. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's like that, because you know how they so overact every scene? I mean, soap operas are bad enough, but then they take it to a next level. Yeah. That's how his stuff is. So the next one, he's on the case, right? And he's found her ex-boyfriend. Now, this was good information to have. He was talking about how, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is what everybody's putting out, so he didn't make this up. He was talking about how there was a guy out there who was claiming to be her fiance and had started a GoFundMe. And he was saying, the family has come out and said, do not give to him. He is not her fiance. She had broken up with him and was trying to get away from him. He was abusive. So he tells us that. And I'm like, okay, that's good information. People need to know in case they come across this GoFundMe. This dude's sketchy and don't give him money. But then he proceeds to, I guess he just had to run out his YouTube time on the video, because he proceeds to he shares his screen and takes us to his Instagram. And the drama ensues. He's like, oh my gosh. He had a post in January. What is it? I've quoted him on stuff with a picture of a remote area. What a remote area. Okay. Like where she disappeared at.
And what's this? What's this guy's name?
Thing?
Yeah. What's the guy's name of the one that had the fake GoFundMe or whatever? That's not the Philip Brenner, is it?
Philip Brenner, yeah. That's the
because he was just released from jail.
Yeah. But it said on unrelated charges, and I didn't look them up. So they said it had nothing to do with her. So
today.
Yeah, it said something about time served. I was like, his ass been there like a day. What, he served his day? I mean,
so I saw that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So he shows us this remote area, which kind of just looked like the ocean. I got to tell you. So I know the ocean's remote if you're in the fucking middle of it.
Hold on. Wait. But go back. Like you said, he was trying to run his YouTube timeout. Like you make a video, you control how long it is, right?
Well, I don't know. I was just saying, like, I don't know why you would do a video this long just to show me his Instagram, but okay. Because no shit, I think he went through every picture on this guy's Instagram. He's like, okay, so as we can see, he has 315 followers. Right? And then he just pauses for dramatic effect so that he knows that he's got 315 followers. Like we're all on the same page. This is how dramatic he is, right? And then he has to tell us how many people he follows. So we know that too. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then we get the picture, but this was a picture in January. So the ocean in January, I'm not sure what that has to do with her disappearing in, September, October in the desert.
In the middle of Phoenix. Thanks for the ocean.
Then she made a post from San Diego.
Where she lives?
I mean...
Wow.
And that was also in January.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is information.
Okay. So this guy that she was dating has pictures and things look like the ocean and the San Diego area. Like all this is in line with she's dating this guy. Like, I mean, like if he was in jail, like how did they not catch him if he did this stuff out in the middle of the desert with her? Like if he's responsible for this. There's holes. There's holes.
There's a lot of holes in this. And like I said, I am coming at him hard tonight because just the past couple of days, he's really been irking my nerves because it's like you can only give somebody so much benefit of the doubt before you're like, you know what, they're showing me who they are. I'm going to believe them.
Well, I mean, when you see them chopping wood and they're just hitting a stump, I mean, that's
that. I almost peed myself laughing. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I was like, I mean, I had to control myself because I was about to stop breathing over here laughing so hard. It was funny. But like some of the stuff in the past couple of days, he's been really going at Kohberger's family. And I don't understand how people do not get they are victims as well. I don't control my brothers. If my brother was arrested tomorrow, one of them, for doing something crazy, what the hell has that got to do with me? I would not want to be drug all over and told, all this stuff, horrible stuff told about me because my brother did something or didn't. I mean, we don't even know.
But I mean, like it was this huge investigation and then they found this guy and then he was in jail. So there's nothing going on. So how else are they supposed to get people to watch their stuff? Like you gotta go after all these people like that.
I will say
we aren't, but
I will say that somebody, because I don't argue back. I don't argue with people on Twitter. I just read the drama, So I'm not trying to say anything because I'm either going to be like, whatever, or I'm going to really cuss them out. And I'm not trying to be like that on Twitter and print. So I don't go there.
In print.
Yeah, in print. But there was somebody, I don't know who they are, but somebody, kind of came back at him and he's like, well, I've gotten over 1 million views on my coverage. So I guess people do want to see it. And I was like, you know what? He's right though. Somebody's clicking on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Yeah.
the drama sells to a lot of people, but like he's just coming at him so hard, like saying that he cannot believe that they haven't come to see their son since he's been in there and they must know he's guilty and all this. I'm like, just leave them alone.
Yeah. I mean, what would you do if your brother got arrested? Would you be down at jail talking to him every day? I mean, what do you do
Which
with family
brother?
member?
Which brother? I mean, but it wasn't just that. It was, I was trying to remember exactly how he said it, but he said basically they didn't care about their son because they wouldn't spend the money to go out there. It's like, okay, didn't they all like lose their jobs because of this?
Right? Yeah. Well, there's that.
And they can't live there.
Yeah. You're just going to go across the country to spend 15 minutes with somebody? Get all the way out there, and there's some reason that something happened inside the jail. Nobody gets visits for that day. I mean, like, really? They're probably saving up all their time and money and everything else so they can come out there during the trial. That would be my guess, because that would be the time where he would probably need the support more than just when he's waiting for it. But I don't know. Guess that's me.
I don't know. I don't understand going after families.
No, I don't
I
either.
just, and that's like the second or third time I've seen that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna, be supporting somebody. But then I saw the videos and they were so funny. I had to share.
So do you have anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I want to talk about what you think happened.
I'm starting to wonder if she didn't like plant the car there and leave.
Well, hold on. This is so fun.
How dare you? What was it she said? You got to read it because of the podcast now.
Oh, it said Candace heard woodcutter and thought immediately of Snow White.
Good gosh.
That is fair. That is very fair. This is a good point. I mean, I am more concerned with the trafficking because that area that's a big corridor in that area, and that's something that very easily happen. I mean, you got a chick by herself in the middle of nowhere. I mean, that's easy, but at the same time, are people just kind of waiting around there for people?
But also, wouldn't there be signs of a struggle?
Maybe that's what's in the car that they can't talk about.
Maybe. Who locks it though? Who's like, let me fight this bitch and get her in here, and then I'm gonna go back and lock everything up for them.
Look, there's nothing logical that we know right now about this. So I mean,
that's fair.
Thinking about it logically, it doesn't make any sense. I am like that. I could see that. I could see trafficking being an issue, abduction or something.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, it's like one of those things that you think happen in other places, but it happens everywhere. I mean, I think we've said before on here when we were in Las Vegas, we come out of this comedy show and there was tons of cops there because a 14-year-old went into the bathroom and was able to write something on a stall and get somebody to help her. So they called the cops, and she was being trafficked. I mean, it was sad. It's horrible. So, I mean, I know it happens, but I just wonder if, I don't know of any diagnosis she has. There have been a lot of people saying she has bipolar, but you know how we love to throw words around nowadays. So who knows?
But who cares?
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, because during manic episodes, a lot of times when you're struggling with bipolar disorder and you become manic, you do some out there stuff. So this is not that far off. I mean, like, I wouldn't be shocked if it were a manic episode at all. So, but I've heard that. And then I've heard other people allude to her having a mental health condition, but they don't ever say what it is.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know. She may
Yeah.
not have any issues, but
And those
knowing
people
that,
saying that, they don't know either. That's why they don't tell you what it is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of her friends had said, I don't know what she's technically diagnosed with, but I know she has issues with anxiety and depression and blah, 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 and other stuff. But, I don't know. And then another one was like, I don't really want to put her information out there, but she was struggling at the time. So it just kind of makes me wonder, especially because of the fact that the cops saw her crying. I mean, I understand that's an emotional place, but, for it to be so emotional that you're just sitting there crying, it makes you wonder if she wasn't just already maybe like more vulnerable and open to getting that upset, if nothing else. So, and there's no sign of struggle. I just don't see people like taking her, snatching her, and then going back and like, let me mix this dirt up so they don't see any footprints and let me lock the door and turn the alarm on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless they did it somewhere else and drove the car out there.
yeah, no, I could see that. I
But
could
hold
see
on,
that.
I do want to say this. So there's 40 million adults in the United States, and it says approximately 19% have anxiety disorder. So I think we're real quick, people, not us, but I think people are real quick to throw, oh, bipolar or this or that. Okay, well then why isn't why isn't 20% of America missing when they all go manic, or some happens when their anxiety's out of control? It's such a catch-all for anything we don't understand. Well, they're fucking nuts. That's what it is. Come on.
Yeah.
Not everything can be related to mental health. And
Yeah,
while it
absolutely.
can, while some things can, I just think that people jump on that so quick.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, we throw around labels really quick too, like, oh my God, that's so bipolar. You're so bipolar. And, you don't think anything of it. So again, I know I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt, but I try not to think anything of it when somebody says it like that, because I know they're not trying to be mean, but I also know that I have clients who suffer from bipolar disorder, and it is very offensive to them when people say stuff like that. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
I can
that's with
understand that.
everything, I guess. But I do wonder about that, just because of, again, her being emotional, there not being any kind of struggle, car being locked and all. But at the same time, where did she go? I mean, he did say you could walk out of there. So, I mean, she'd been walked out and gone who knows where by the time anybody started looking for her.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. I don't know. I always go to, somebody took her. Like that's how my mind operates. Um, but I
I
mean,
think maybe I'm so wanting her to be okay that I'm like,
oh, I mean, yeah,
am
yeah.
I no, I mean, I know everybody is, but I'm just saying, like, I think, like, I'm still just, like, not wanting to get on that train of thought.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't either. But the thing about it is where is she? Like, so regardless, it's sad, but you automatically, it's been this long, so her being alive is still, I mean, there's still hope, but it's not big for me. Um, but where is she? What happened? Why can't we find her? But at
Yeah.
the same time, people can be like 20 feet away from the house and they search everywhere and don't find anybody, and they've been there the whole time.
It is odd, though. You think somebody would have found her by now if she was out there.
I mean, especially because that guy was saying there's like 30 cars that he passed on the way in there. It's just, it's not an area that you think like somebody just walks away and nobody sees her except for one person. This wood
Okay.
chopper guy.
So okay, this seems like it might answer what we were saying, the confusion. So we said,
Hmm.
well, if law enforcement told Steve that, why would they tell Steve that if the guy didn't say it? But this kind of looks like might be the answer to all the questions here.
Yeah.
Paul says it also came out that the woodcutter lied. It was confirmed he only saw the car and never Chelsea. So I guess maybe he heard that from the police before they were like, no, he lied.
Well, is it lie or was he mistaken? I don't know how you're mistaken. Did you see somebody or not? But
Right.
why lie about it
Yeah.
unless?
Oh, you think he took her?
I mean, why else would you lie? I'm not saying he does. So if
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, why does somebody lie about this
Yeah.
random missing person that they don't know? Why? I mean, just as easily just say, I saw the car. Why would you say you saw her too?
That is true. That is kind of
It
weird.
just seems kind of weird. Why would you lie about that?
Yeah. And then Rhett Mom says that Steve did say he was officially hired on by the family as a second PI on the case. So that answers that too. Okay, so Steve seems legit. I don't know why
So
I said
you
that twice, like it makes him more legit. I don't know.
so let me make sure I understand this. You will do your own research, not be sure about somebody, but you'll read a couple comments in a YouTube live, and you're like, "Yep, that's fucked. Yep, they're absolutely right. That is the
I
gospel."
I trust
I'm
Rhett Mom,
just
okay?
I'm just messing
And
with
I
you.
trust Paul. Okay. So
That's fair. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This okay. This is it's funny, not because of Chelsea, but because of old Carly Russell.
Rhett Mom
Yeah.
says if she pops up and says she saw a toddler running on the road and she got snatched up by a semi and put in the back with an orange-haired man and tied up and Cheez-Its, I'm done. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think, that's what a lot of people are going to. It also makes you wonder, are more people going to that subconsciously because of it being so soon after Carly Russell lied?
Well, I don't know. I would have paid attention to what happened to her in court and the fact that she's facing a year in jail and all these fines before I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Carly Russell. How about you pull like a DB Cooper and actually get away with shit, not some random dumbass that just is like, oh, I'm gonna pull off on the side of the road with a toddler. Go
You
for
wouldn't
somebody
know
that
true
figured it
crime
out.
about something to do with money,
What?
DB Cooper. Like, you would know
I'm just
something like
saying.
that.
Just saying. Somebody wanted to be gone and they found out a way to be gone. Like, I feel like if you're trying to be gone with nobody finding you, that's the kind of people you go after, not some dumbass that was just like, I'm gonna steal toilet paper and money and then say I saw a toddler. I mean, like, what's going through your mind? That's not a good example. She's not a good example. So,
Very true. Very
but
true.
why would I guess we go back to mental health. I'm trying to figure out like if she wanted to just be gone and nobody mess with her, like why? If it's not something like a manic episode or something mental health related, like what are other reasons why that people want to do that? I mean, she, by all accounts, she's, she at least calls her parents to be like, hey, this is where I'm going to be. So it's not like she's trying to disappear from them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of something other than her not being alive.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe she just become overwhelmed with, having this breakup recently and stuff going on in her life, and maybe she just needed to bounce for a while.
I mean, I guess I understand that, but this is kind of like, I don't know. It just seems like a long time.
Yeah,
Gone.
it genuinely does.
You know?
So Paul says, I'm curious as to what is going to come out about Elias. His reels in Insta are interesting, but then he was also caught in a lie about removing the GoFundMe. So I didn't really get a good understanding of who Elias is. So I know he was hanging out with PJ and they were like together in this whole GoFundMe. And then one of them said that they didn't know the other one was sketchy, but now that they do, they're out. They're done with the GoFundMe. But I didn't get a good understanding of who Elias was in that. So whoever knows, please tell us. I mean, I want to say he was a friend or coworker or something, but I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, I was just trying to look it up.
Be careful, he'll sue. He'll sue the effing stuff.
Yep. I was trying to see if I could find it, but see if I can find it later, or if anybody knows, you can let us know. I don't know. Like, I don't know of anything else. What could have happened? I mean, maybe she did leave on her own, and maybe she was only planning on being gone for a couple of days, and something happened, and she's way out in the middle of that area and doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know how to get back to her car, any of that. And then maybe if she is lost, hopefully she's found. I don't know. Of course,
Oh,
I'm very pessimistic when it comes to these things.
can you flip to this? Dom says there's an active shooter in Maine. 2 scenes and multiple victims. I mean, since we are wrapping this up.
Yeah, I can see if I can find it. What city?
Lewiston.
See what I can find. Oh yeah, I think this is the one.
Oh goodness.
Give me just a second, and I can pull this up as soon as it's.
That's so like, does it ever end?
Hmm?
Does it ever end with these shootings?
So I'm gonna put up the police. I'll put up the police scanner once this ad is over.
No, I was like, there's an ad, but okay, I'm following now. I forgot how long those ads are. They're so. I'm used to YouTube ads. You just hit skip ads after 5 seconds.
So I'm gonna put this up. I don't know like what all is going on. If they're
And it's live, so you've been warned. We don't know what's going to happen on there.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of communication right now on the radio. Like I said, I'll go ahead and put it up here. Damn, it's loud.
I can't hear anything you're hearing. So okay. Okay, so KK says no action on her bank accounts and cell phone makes me lean so much more towards foul play. That is a very good point. I mean, if she was doing this on her own, you would assume that she would have had to spend some money or something by now.
Yeah.
I am also surprised the car sat there for 5 days and no one reported it before that, especially in the middle of the road. I mean, if there's 30 to 35 cars coming in and out of there, were they just driving around it? Everybody's just like, what ifs? Cars stop here all the time. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too in people's business because I would call.
Yeah, I mean, you are.
Dom's right. A lot of criminals do interject themselves in the investigation. So maybe this woodcutter guy's getting in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious why you would lie. I'm listening to the police scanner, so that's why I'm kind of like not paying attention to you a lot because I'm trying to see if there's like anything going on. There's 18,000 people on that police scanner, but there's not a lot of talking like this. He's talking about making contact with somebody in Walmart. So I mean, I don't feel like it's but it's got to be the right city because it's Auburn and Lewiston, and there's 18,000 people on there, so it's got to be the right one. But they're not talking about anything right now. I don't know if they moved to a different channel.
For the record, Dom, I do know DB Cooper. My point was that it was hilarious to me that he would know something that has something to do with finance. Because didn't DB Cooper take like 200 grand or something off that plane with him?
Yeah, he took money. I don't know how much it was. But.
So I'm saying, like, it would figure you'd know a crime one, but you don't. I mean, something to do with finance, but you don't know any other crimes.
Look, I'm a money guy. What do you want from me? And that's kind of my whole thing, you know. Yeah, I'm thinking they switch frequencies too, Dom. Because I mean, there's like I said, they're talking about Walmart right now, so I'm gonna stop having that scream in my ear.
Dom, do not ever do that again. You cannot disappear for 2 years without contacting people.
Wow, really? I mean,
it's common to get stressed out and have episodes and just want to isolate.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, oh my god, I can't believe people do that. I'm just like, that's a long ass time, man.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that was before cell phones. Okay. Yeah, because It's hard to. I can't go 2 years without people blowing my phone up. The like 5 people I know, but I feel like they would blow it up after a while.
Yeah, yeah.
I could probably take them a few months before they even cared I was gone. But okay, so Elias is PJ's buddy and tried to help with search efforts, GoFundMe stuff. So I guess is Elias maybe actually a decent guy then? He was, the one that was saying, I didn't realize he was sketchy. Now that I do, I'm out. So I don't know. But I guess we should probably lean towards Elias is not a bad person until we find out otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the guy.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's bad. I wouldn't give Danny GoFundMe though, because
Look,
who knows who's got it.
I don't give money like that to anybody, whether it's a GoFundMe for this situation, whether it's for the seals, whether it's for children. Like, if I can't hand somebody my money and know where it's going, I'm not giving it to anybody.
Oh, I do all the time. I do all the time because he's always like, "What the hell is this GoFundMe charge?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
because you have no idea what it's going towards. Because I mean, please, people that want to steal. No, you don't, because people that want to steal shit when they're doing stuff like that, they just say, "Oh, we had to spend that on operating costs." Your mortgage is not an operating cost. Like,
but unless I find out otherwise, I'm assuming it's going to a good cause. So I'm not saying don't ever give to GoFundMe. I'm saying if you see one on this case, I would not give because you don't know if it's legitimate or if old dudes got back on there or
look, there's one charity I give to, and that's me. That's I'm my own charity case. I'm not giving money to anybody. Now subscriptions, like we have like Patreon and stuff to other people, that's different. I know where that money's going, so I'm all right with that.
So where was the car found? Where in Arizona exactly was she when she disappeared? I mean, because as far as like location, I'm out on that. Y'all don't know. I don't know where stuff's at. It was the desert. Like that's as much as I got. But it was in the middle of the road with 2 flat tires. So it was found in the middle of the road. And you know what else was funny? It was in the middle of the road, and then like right here was a turn in. You know, like how when you're going down, they'll have little cutoffs for you to turn in. So I don't even. I mean, I feel like I would have tried to roll into that turn in at least, because it's got to be dark out there at night. How has nobody hit that car?
Yeah. So I'll show you where she was last. So right here, whatever that national forest, whatever you call it, that's where they're saying she was at, is this area right here. So here's Phoenix, and then San Diego's over here. So that's where they're saying she was. Where the car
how far is San Diego from where she was found? Because she didn't even get close to Connecticut.
No, but I mean, but she wasn't going.
Well, but like the whole thing was she wasn't going to make it in time, so she had to have, had a reasonable idea of, how long it took and had planned for that initially, and then just ran late. So like, why had she not gotten any further than that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Look, it's 8 hours, well, almost 9 hours from San Diego to that national park, but she wouldn't have gone up there because I mean she was going through Phoenix, and I mean obviously Phoenix is right there, and I mean
she went to Phoenix because she met the friend.
Yeah, but there's no route that takes her through. Let me get rid of that real quick. But there's no route that takes her that way. So I mean, she's not going from here and then over to Phoenix and then straight north. Now, I guess if she had decided, hey, I'm not going to make it for the wedding, and then she wanted to go somewhere else, I guess that's where she kind of called an audible on her trip, went up there. I don't know, because that's the other thing. Is that somewhere she's ever talked about going? Is that like with her parents? I mean, is that somewhere she's like, hey, I'm going to go there one day or anything like that? Was weird for her to just call and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this random ass place." I mean, what?
Well, I know her friends said that this was unusual behavior for her, but I wasn't sure like what she was including in that. Like disappearing, because that's not really anybody's usual. Or does she mean like getting in a car and even driving, cross country is unusual? So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know. And I'm with, I'm with you, KK. I kind of like, I feel like the car was just dumped out there. And then also, I saw your comment earlier where you're talking about like, there's no activity, no banking activity at all. And for me, that's the thing for me that really kind of makes me feel like this isn't going to be good. Because when people stop using money, I mean, you've only got so much cash. Most people only have so much cash. So I mean, you're eventually going to have to leave a financial footprint. And when you don't, after weeks, that's where I'm like, the worst. Because how else are you living? How else are you making it? Yes, if you got cash, you can make it for a certain amount of time. But eventually, you're going to have
Yeah.
to, surface or whatever. Hey, Sally, welcome to the channel. So I remember that part where I said keep up with the comments, and now I am.
Well, because I was trying to see, so JLR, oddly, coincidentally enough, when I hit on Twitter, it's like the first thing that came up. Chelsea Grimm's ex-boyfriend has been released, blah, blah, blah. We already knew that. Who is Ryan Vaughn, I think? I don't know how you pronounce that. And what connection does he have to Chelsea? But say, here's the thing. I don't know if this is like dramatic. Who is he? Or is it like, not really? He might be involved.
My thing is, if you're gonna, if you have that platform and he's got like 20-some thousand people, and you're talking to that many people that are following you, you like don't ask me who it is. You're the one bringing the name. You tell me. Because if you're not telling me who it is or what kind of connection it has with the case, I think it's clickbait, and you just want people to come to your site or your channel or whatever. And I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm gonna need to know what the hell you're talking about, or I need you to give me the disclosure that I give you guys a lot. Like, I don't know about true crime, and I don't research that well because I'm not in college anymore. So what's coming when you got me. Like, I'm just being honest. We all know where I'm coming from. But if I was like, hey, this person, I would tell you who it is. Like, you know what it is? You click on it, be like, subscribe to find out.
Oh my goodness. Surely not. Surely not.
Yeah.
Oh, and see, okay, here's one of his posts from today. Why haven't the parents of missing 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm gone out to Arizona to search for her? And no rewards being offered. They
Not
hired a
everybody's got
PI,
money.
dude.
Yeah, and not everybody's got money to put out a big ass reward for things.
Well, the very next line he put was Chelsea's parents are rich from Greenwich, Connecticut. Something's not adding up.
Are they?
Oh, I don't
Are they
know.
rich?
I don't know. I mean, if they live in Greenwich, they are, but I don't know.
Not. I'm pretty sure those people that live in Greenwich are like, fuck, I'm not rich. Can I live in the rich part of Greenwich? I mean, let's be real.
I don't think there's a poor part. Okay.
There's a poor part everywhere.
So I think their poor and our poor might be a little different.
Everybody that lives in New England is poor some way, unless you're a millionaire. Ain't nobody living there well.
That's true. That's true.
But I mean, like, just because, okay, somebody's rich. But I mean, I don't know. Rewards are they're kind of weird for me because they may do some good, but how many people call in and just say something? I mean, that puts people back.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not offering a reward and they easily could, that tells me law enforcement's probably told them not to do that because they're going to get overrun with tips.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've already got people now lying about whether or not they saw her.
Right.
You don't need 1,200 more tips in the next hour coming in about sightings. Hell, they're having her in Alaska next week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw her, but I didn't see her. But twice I maybe didn't see her, or maybe I did. I mean, why do you lie though? That's the problem for me. Like, why do you lie about you could? Because have you seen her? Have you seen the car? I saw the car. Okay, but why are you lying about seeing her on 2 different occasions? Now it feels like, if I'm just going to go crazy conspiracy theory but if you're telling me that you saw her and then find out that you lied about that, you didn't actually see her, but then you're going to tell me that you saw her on 2 different times, I feel like you're trying to build a timeline and an alibi for yourself. I mean, I'm just saying, like, why do you lie? What's the point of lying?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, because he doesn't have to lie to put himself in the investigation or in the news because he's already there. So it's like, no, you're good, guy. You're on the websites and stuff talking about her. So what, like, why? Why are you lying? I don't know. Have any of you guys lied in the you get, in the middle of an investigation, but lied about the truth kind of thing? It's not like you're just like, oh yeah, I saw her. Like, why are you lying? That's the problem for me.
Oh, she said there's only 350 in that town that could call in. That's fair. That's fair. Okay,
I mean,
that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is yeah, the sideways hat, this profile picture that is kind of like,
yeah.
You want us to take you, seriously straight out of Malibu? Like,
It's almost like, and I don't think he's really like this, but it's like the vibe of like somebody who's 40 something that wants to still be 20, but they're not, like, those old sad people that are like at frat parties still trying to party in their 30s.
Yeah,
You're like, dude, you don't
kind of
go
like
here, first of all.
Like we watched Old Guys last night, that new movie on Netflix, and that guy's like,
Yeah.
he's going up, he's like, "What's up, fam? Yo, that's lit." Like, yeah, like,
Oh my gosh.
you should know the slang words, but you should know that you don't use them. Like, we're in our 40s. Let's calm down. Shit ain't lit anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make it through till death. Like, lit is gone. The days of lit are over. Like, so it's gone. It's gone.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but it just kind of gives that vibe, like the 30-year-old who's like wants to be.
No. Yeah, the sideways hat does it too.
Yeah, yeah. But I could see on him growing on you, like a fungus. But
I mean, yeah. And then I'd take some antibacterial stuff and fucking clean that shit off.
he's growing on you? I thought somebody else said that. KK? Oh
God damn it,
no.
KK.
I thought you had. I mean, really?
How so? I'm embarrassed for you. Just embarrassed for you.
It's rough.
I mean, he may be a nice guy, but he does give off that. I still want to be cool.
I mean, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but the last couple of days, he's really like, I don't even know. He's just too much.
I mean, I understand having to pull people in so that they'll click and watch and stuff, but it's like, maybe
you don't have to fake chop wood. Like, I mean, you don't have to. That's a little over the top. And I'm sure the way I remember it and I'm telling you is probably not that dramatic, but in my head it was as I was watching it. I'm like, whoa, calm down, hero. Like, it's not that. It's not like you don't have to go this over the top.
Yeah. So this is that's exactly how I would describe him. That's exactly right. Yeah. I'm not saying he is, but like when I look, because I don't watch him or anything, but when I look at him, I'm like, oh yeah, this fucking dude. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, I do get like how KK says he isn't afraid to go out and talk to people. I like that too, as long as he's not like screaming at them like old BHB does. It's like, why? I get, okay, it's not like if it's in public, like at a courthouse, you're not messing with people's neighborhoods. I get all that, but I'm just like, I don't want to be the kind of person that screams outside of a building at people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, at the
you
family
shouldn't
who
want
just
to be
lost
that person.
Family that's lost a toddler, or somebody that's next to them, where they're screaming out. That was in Georgia, right? Quentin Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hello. This almost makes up for it, KK. It almost makes up for it that you're sending people over here. No, it was Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, why are you just screaming and everything? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
And fake chopping wood, that was over the top. It was too much.
It's so good. Like, if you would have, like, I could just imagine, like, he's out there, he's no shirt on, he takes a bandana and fucking pats his brow. It's going like,
I mean,
so ridiculous.
it was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, oh, okay. So that
Look,
Ryan Bond.
look,
Oh,
don't
okay.
make me don't look. You can like who you like, okay? Like love who you love, whatever. But I'm not telling you to. I don't say I hate him. I think he's hilarious.
So, MJ says apparently Ryan Bond is her neighbor. Okay, I was thinking coworker, but that's kind of just as close, neighbor, coworker.
What about him? Are they thinking like
That's who that Ryan Bond? I don't know. That's
he tracked her
JLR
when
brought it
she was
up on his
going to
thing.
Connecticut, and like she didn't go missing from her house. She been missing from almost 9 hours away from her house. I'm not sure how a neighbor has anything to do with it. Like that's where you go, the neighbor? Did he follow her out there? I mean, just kind of curious how his name came up.
He's starting to kind of the JLR guy. He's starting to kind of make me think of like Turtle Boy. Like they're like BFFs or something. Like they could be, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
They could be.
I also I can't get behind somebody that calls himself Turtle Boy. Like I like because here's the thing, you're talking about true crime stuff. You're talking about people that have gone missing, unsolved homicides, that sort of thing. I can't take you seriously when you're like Turtle Boy here reporting. No, no, just go somewhere else. Like you're not in the right genre. I mean, he's making a lot of money, so I guess he is, but I just can't get behind somebody that's like, I'm Turtle Boy. At least Turtle Man. Like, at least make yourself a man, your boy. So it's just hard for me to get behind that kind of stuff. But,
oh, okay. So MJ said there's a restraining order against him and PJ. That's from September. That's right. Hadn't she said that they did something? What? I don't know. Did one of them try to assault her, or they were just messing with her or something? Dang, I remember reading it now.
I don't know. But my thing, like, why would he be in, like, he just followed her 9 hours away from the house? That doesn't make any sense. And if he had something to do with it, then he probably had help, because I mean, somebody's got to drop her car off in the middle of nowhere. I mean, he's not fucking running back and forth between the two cars. So I mean, if she went missing from her house, okay, I could get behind this, but I'm gonna need a little bit more than it was her neighbor. I mean, just me.
No, he's just they were just saying that's who it was because I had asked who that was.
No, I know them. I'm talking about that fucking woodchopper guy. Like, why is he talking about it? Like, why are you talking about it?
That I don't know. Yeah. I guess I could go back and see what he said. Like if he had anything under that, because that was just the name of it when I was first looking. And oh my goodness! It says at least. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that it says at least 60 people shot in Lewiston, Maine. At least 16 dead. Multiple active shooter locations. Now, let me also say, and don't laugh when I say this because it's not a laughing matter, but that was from JLR, so take it with a grain of salt. Because I didn't realize, again, he's still in my search box, so he's the first person that pops up. So that may or may not be. It's a screenshot of someone else's news, like a news person's news. So maybe he didn't mess that up.
Well, I'm going to read about it. So it says, well, this was an hour ago from ABC News. They said more than 10 dead, dozens injured.
Oh, man.
But that was that. So.
Well, where are the pictures coming from if there's no video of it anywhere?
Photoshop? I don't know. Canva? I don't know. How is he creating them? No, I mean, I don't know where they're coming from. I mean, did he put that on there? Did he give us the ability to to check out his sources?
No, I'm sure they pulled footage from somewhere. I just don't know why they would already. Well, I guess they have to put it out if they haven't found him, so he's still at large. Oh, well, that's great. Ay.
Yeah, because everything I'm saying is just talking. It's not giving exact numbers, but I mean, he very well could have found it. Damn.
So it says a bowling alley came under fire Wednesday evening. There are additional reports of shots fired at a local bar and a Walmart distribution center. But this may be one of the first articles, so it might give more information later. Well, this was at 8:05, and it's 8:20, so.
Let's see if I can find the article. I was just looking at it on my phone because I've got a picture of the guy.
Oh, where you can see it better than it was in the little video thing.
I was in the video. I didn't even start looking at this until we started talking. No, is there a picture where he's got the? I guess I don't know if it's an AR or what it is, but
yeah.
I'll just put it up in case you guys haven't seen this because I just came across it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the picture of him.
Yeah, that was the video, but that is much clearer and brighter than the video was. So,
yeah. So that's him, and then
man,
yeah. Let's share this too. Hang on, but because there's a different one of him from the side. I just wonder, like, somebody's got to know who he is, obviously. But
I was looking to see if there was any more updates, like sooner.
So there's that picture of him too.
Somebody's got to know who that is. I bet the police do know who it is by now.
Who they believe is the shooter. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, I can put something on. Thank you for sending that to me, Miss Jaspel. I can look it up. Apparently, there's some news coverage on it right now.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
So we don't put out misinformation accidentally.
Well, I mean, we can't put out misinformation. We got no information.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if we get on there and the news says it, then.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, it's just a little clip of it. So hang on, I'll share it.
Beating those keys to death over there.
Well, you know what? I am. Deal with it. So.
Chief of Police for Seattle and also an NBC News law enforcement analyst. Chief Best, thank you so much for being with us. I want to understand from you what it is like to respond in an urban setting to a report like this. These instances are far too common here in the United States, and I'm wondering what you can tell us a little bit about the choreography that goes into responding to this and what the experience is like for officers like the ones you commanded on the ground when they're responding to a mass shooter situation.
Yeah, absolutely. These situations are, highly intense for the officers responding. As any chief will tell you, it's one of the worst things that you can have to go to in terms of the number of casualties that may be in place. There's a lot of unknown information to start, and you want to start finding out as much as you can about the suspect, the potential suspects in this circumstance. They'll take a look at any video, anybody who has any information that's called into 911, any descriptions from that as they deploy in the area and attempt to locate the suspect wherever they are. So it's going to be all hands on deck, as you heard earlier, with everyone responding. There'll be multiple jurisdictions that will come out and support one another. They'll set up communications and communications teams so that they can adequately search for the suspect and gather any information they can from news reports and anything else that's available.
And Chief Best, Central Maine Medical Center is reporting at this point, confirming that there is a mass casualty event that it is responding to. That suggests, of course, that there are multiple victims here. Given what you know of the potential damage done by the sort of long rifle that this shooter seems to be holding in the photographs we've been showing on screen as we've been speaking, what kinds of injuries do you think we are looking at?
Okay, so I mean, when they talk about injuries and stuff, it's like, hey, see you later, Dom. Like when they ask about AR-15s and what kind of damage they can do and all that stuff, it's like, well, the military uses M4s in combat. So, I mean, that should kind of tell you like everything you need to know about what that weapon can do. It's horrible. I mean,
So
it's a
someone just posted, police have issued a bolo for an individual named Robert Card. He is believed to be driving a 2013 white Subaru Outback. So yeah, I figured they'd have a name pretty soon.
oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good picture. If you know the person, you know them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
God, that's terrifying that it
It is.
happened, and the fact that he's still at large. So this from NBC says 16 are dead, 50 to 60 injured. So I guess he was reporting right numbers on there.
Yeah, and I mean, yes and no. I mean, if there's a lot of people around and you have AR-15, I mean, you can shoot 3-round bursts. So, I mean, if you got a 30-round magazine, you just spray it into a crowd, drop a mag, put the next one in. I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult. It wouldn't be that difficult. Is M4 smaller than AR-15? They're the same. I mean, which is why I don't understand why Americans need to possess the same thing that the military uses. Never understood that. I mean, that's not the Second Amendment. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, why do they call them two different things then if they're the same thing?
Because you can't call that, because an AR-15 is a civilian weapon. It is for target practice and fun.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
An
I'm
M4.
sure those people are having fun.
No. But I mean, an
No,
M4
no.
is it's an assault rifle. I mean,
Yeah.
they both are, but
Yeah.
there's just
But they
just
can,
kind of get different names.
yeah, give it a different name. You can sell it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same weapon. Because I mean,
Yeah.
an M4 doesn't fire full auto. It's 3-round burst. That's so because there's rules.
But I mean, what are the
They-
odds though if this person is willing to do this, them having it modified?
Oh yeah, that's simple. Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, yeah, you can easily modify those to make them full auto.
yeah, so it's probably full auto, I would imagine. Even if it's 3-round burst, that you can shoot
Yeah.
a lot fast.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So, but you know what's like it is as horrible as this is. I'm surprised we haven't heard about 6 or 7 others since the last time we talked about one.
There's a picture that I think it's the picture you have, but when you look at it, do you see it looking like something's hanging from the gun? Because I didn't see that initially, but when I'm looking at this person's snapshot of it, I'm like, that does look like a bag hanging from the gun, which then makes me wonder what the hell's in the bag.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you've kind of planned this, you're probably not running around with a bag with with magazines in it.
Yeah.
Maybe something else. I would imagine he'd be wearing something around his waist that would hold all of that. Which, when I stop and think about that, like I should not have to say those words about something that's happening in just a random place in some random city. Like that's like the combat operations discussion, not civilians running around doing this to other people.
I think it's a shadow. I don't think it's anything because that's the same photo. There's nothing there. It did look like a bag though.
Yeah, no. You'd have to have something very specific, a shell catcher. That's the only way, because like literally when we would qualify in the military, you'd be like 50, 60 feet apart, and somebody would, their shell casing would eject, and it would land like right in between your skin and your body armor, sit there and sizzle on your skin. So I mean, it launches those things pretty far. It would be impossible for him to get them all.
So here's a question I have. If there have been multiple locations, did he run from one to another, or were these at the same time?
I mean, I guess it all depends on where the locations were and how close they were. Because I mean, was he in one place and he just walked across the street to another one?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know of a whole lot where there's like a coordinated attack. and then
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully not.
yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because whenever we hear about those things, it's normally just because it's in the chaos of everything. It's kind of like when you were at Fort Hood, and I'm still calling it that. I don't give a shit what anybody says. So
Yeah.
when we were at Fort Hood and they had that active shooter on there, they thought there was
Whew.
a bunch of different people in different places all over the
Mhm.
installation. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the chaos of.
I mean,
of
we were
what's going
told
on.
there was someone in our neighborhood, and we were like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most terrified I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And then you find out that it was nowhere even near me. But you don't
Yeah.
know.
What was his name again?
Robert Card,
Okay.
Card.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him. I just saw the name pop up. But give it 5 minutes, Twitter will know.
Yeah. Your nickname for X, Twitter?
Yeah, I refuse to call it that. It's Twitter,
Okay.
man. Like, I'm never gonna not see Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he
I
can
get it.
keep
I
on
get it.
changing his stuff to X, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna change anything for me. And the black I hate anyway. The blue was so much better. Like, I don't even like. That just looks stupid.
Well, I'm sure Elon will see this, and then he'll
I
make
was
all the
hoping,
changes back that you're
Yeah.
requesting. I'm sure.
Well, this is why I'm saying it, just in case he is to.
He's gonna be like, you know what? We got to fix it. That crazy country bitch does not want this anymore, so we got to make sure we change it immediately.
You know what? I bet he talks about me like my fantasy football players do when they get together every week, and they're like, you know what? I know we've been averaging 19 points a game, but we're going to go for 3 because Candace put us in this week.
My God, like you're not just dead last; you're like bad last. Like
with good players.
Yeah.
What? I have
Like-
Tua as my quarterback. He scored less than Geno Smith had I left him in. And I was so happy I got Tua. Should just let Geno there.
In fairness, you are putting the right people. Like it's exactly what my team would look like. And I say that as the guy who's tied for first, but I would do the exact same thing you were doing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be last though.
So Elon can get together.
It really kind of does. Like
it does.
Yeah.
I always think Ashley Madison. I don't know why was that logo like black or something, but it always seems kind of sketchy. Well, just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
No,
but what's funny
gives you that like.
Now that she says that, because like I'm looking at the notifications on the bar up there, and like when you have a notification from Twitter, there's a little red dot at like the corner. So all I could think about is like it being a red light. That's all I can think of now. But I don't know. We've kind of gone way off track here, but.
So I would just be careful too if you do go on social media to see until the news puts it out, because people are posting all kind of craziness, and I mean they'll be like, "This is the guy," and somebody else is like, "That absolutely is not the guy. He's not even the same age," and then they're like going at it. So I'm not getting involved in that. I'll just wait till the news tells me more.
Yeah, I don't understand why people do that either.
Yeah,
like, do you not realize like what you're doing to somebody when you say it's this person? Especially, and I looked it up. Lewiston, it's got a population of 36,000. So, like, if somebody was like, "Oh, hey, that's fucking Carl from 2 doors down," and then you find out it's not, there's still going to be people that think it's Carl.
Yeah,
it's like just be responsible a little bit before you're like, "No, I know that guy. It's him. It's totally him."
I mean, who is that? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Who even owns a gun and drives a Subaru Outback? That's kind of throwing me off already. I'm just saying. A Subaru Outback's like, I'm going to grab my kayak. Let's go.
I mean, that's fair.
So.
Here you go. Yeah. JLR of the deets soon.
Oh, yeah. I should be checking there. I should be checking there.
Oh,
but they put a picture of the car out. I mean, it's just a wide Outback. So. But it looks like, so the car sitting there pulled up next to the curb, it looks like, backed in like up to the curb. But I think, nope, that's not a parking space. Looks like he went and turned down 2 in between 2 parking things and then like backed up. But the doors, the car's sitting there, lights on, and the door's open. So it's almost like, did he just get out, leave the door, and the car running? went
Yeah.
in, shot these people, and then took off again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So, yes. And it is probably the cheesiest, worst thing we've ever seen is starting so everybody saying started with a
mean-
video of an axe cutting.
I'm like, you're not chopping wood if there's no wood. You're hitting a stump. You're basically thumping the stump down there with your little axe. You are not chopping anything. It got to me. I don't know why.
Well, I'm because it's fucking ridiculous. That's why.
Plus, again, it might not read this way when you see it, but to me, all I could see was, "Hi there, I didn't see you," as he's just chopping away. I didn't see you there. Hi. You know what I mean? Like, that's how dramatic it was in my head. I'm sure it's not that bad, but in my head it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do this on the next one. Just be like, whatever you're doing, and then you just be like, "Oh, hey, didn't see you there."
Oh, that's how I'll do my finger guns. I'll be like, yeah. What I'm always concerned about? Like, what do the people who don't listen to us regularly think when they just get finger guns at the end for no apparent reason?
I feel like if somebody sat through a live without us actually talking to them, if they made it to the end, they'd understand.
That's true.
I
That's
feel
fair.
like they'd be like, "Yeah, I know who this chick is.
They've earned their finger
it."
guns.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Well, we're probably gonna have to go soon because Kai is about to lose his mind over here in this room. He's done with this room for the day, I guess.
Well, you know what? Unlike JLR, we can stop our videos whenever we want.
Yeah, we're not boots on the ground. We're boots at the house, so we just turn it off.
Yeah, we're not going to show you our Instagram page or anything. So, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, it's Kyle's fault. We got to go. We'll show you Sweet Kyle later because I don't know what he's doing right now.
Huffing and
we'll show you
puffing,
later.
trying to get out.
Yeah. If you're just joining us for the first time ever tonight, thank you for hanging out. Make sure you subscribe, and you can enjoy all of these ADHD filled excursions with us every time we do them. So, but enjoyed it. Hopefully we can find something out about Chelsea soon because it's there's too much going on there. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.